First, though, San Diego Pride is happening this weekend right here in San Diego. And this morning we have America's favorite bisexual grandmother, Arlene Krantz, in this morning. I know you're thinking, well, that's an interesting title. She has an ebook out now. It's called Dare to Come Out, and she is here with more on her story. Thank you so much for coming in.
It's my pleasure to be here. You know, Heather, with the freedom to marry laws being passed in every state, hopefully it'll be federal soon, that a lot of people, gay people, are starting to think about how do they want to come out? Should they come out? Dare they come out? And that's what's going on right now. And I have many friends that think about it and they haven't made the move, so we talk about it, what's the best way to do it. And I really want to spread the word and, you know, coming out to be who you are, free to be you.
Well, tell me your story a little bit. You actually were married with children at one point.
Yes, I have 2 daughters and I have 7 grandkids. I'm a very happy grandmother. And when my husband and I separated, an opportunity came my way to end up at the Bisexual Center in San Francisco. I was living in San Francisco at the time, and I went, wow, the Bisexual Center, and it was sort of like opened up my whole life.
I mean, obviously, your whole life, did you realize that you were bisexual?
When I was 9 years old, I had a little instance that happened with me. As you know, young girls, you're growing up and you're growing your boobs and you're putting your bras on and showing each other, look, they're growing, kind of thing. and one of my friends said, like, look, and I went like this, and I went, that was an E.T. moment. That was definitely, and I went, there's something else going on.
You found home, right?
I sort of found something was going on, but I kind of, you know, what was I going to do with it? In those days, you didn't talk about gay, and they were in the closet. Nobody ever knew anybody that was gay.
So you did what the traditional role was for a woman. You got married to a man. You had 2 children. You divorced a few years after being married. At what point did you come out to your family?
I came out to my parents when I was in a magazine article. And I didn't want to hide who I was anymore. I was proud of the work I was doing in the bisexual community, and I didn't want to hide it. I wanted to share my excitement and all the good things were happening for me.
How did Mom and Dad take it?
Well, I showed an article. I was in the Oakland Trib newspaper, and I had my picture there. So I went to my parents. They're in Philadelphia, so I flew to Philadelphia, and I was sweating, and my mouth was dry, and I was shaking. And I said, okay, I have to do it. I'm ready to go back to San Francisco, waiting for that right moment. I said, that's it, I'm doing it. So I took out the article, and I said, see my picture? And she's like looking. And I said, see where it says bisexual activist? And she said, that's the part I don't like. And I went, ooh, it was like sort of like, I wanted to say, isn't that nice? But that's not what happened.
And that was sort of how it has been for a lot of folks that have come out. They weren't exactly welcomed by their families with open arms.
No.
At the time you came out, though, you had teenage daughters.
Yes.
How did they take it?
They were doing their own thing, and I wasn't open about it as much. They were already, I didn't have anybody special in my life. So it was sort of like they didn't really get it.
Did you have a conversation with them at any point, or did they just suddenly see you with a partner?
You know, it's a funny thing because you don't know whether to say it or not to say it. I didn't come out and say, hi, guess what, your mother's bisexual. But I did show them things that I was doing. They saw articles. I had newspapers and magazines around, so they sort of got it without me saying it. When I told my father, that was the hardest thing. And I said, Dad, I'm the same person. He said, no, you're not. Knife in the heart. You know, that was really hard. But, you know, I'm myself, and I'm not going to change who I am. And they had to, and they accepted it.
And you've been with the same partner for 19 years,
19
Francis.
years.
I think we have a photo of the wedding day. I think we'll pop that up in just a moment. Do you regret the way you came out to your parents? Do you wish you would have had the sit-down conversation with your daughters?
You know, I did what I knew. There was no role model to follow. There was nobody to say this is the best way to do it, this is not the best way to do it. I was at it. I gave my parents an anniversary party, and we were sitting there. My aunt, my father's sister was there. I said, Aunt Jeannie, I have to tell you something. Like whispering. She said, what, Arlene? I said, you know, I'm with a woman right now. She said, isn't that nice? It's like, that's what I wanted to hear from my parents, which I didn't get, so that was cool.
You have an ebook out, Dare to Come Out, 10 Mistakes to Avoid When Coming Out. Give me the top 2 mistakes folks make.
One of my chapters, one of my tips is, don't tell your mother when she's hungry. You don't ever want to,
Oh, boys, don't tell her anything when
Don't
she's
tell them
hungry.
anything when they're hungry. And it's just something, you know, don't tell your father when he's stressed. You have to pick the right time. You want to do it when it's a quiet place. Maybe it's at their place. Maybe they feel if you would feel safer if it was there. You have to come out, you have to do it in a place that you feel comfortable. It's not always about them. It's always about where you're coming from, so that when you come out, you feel good about yourself. And you're not always going to get the reaction that you want.
And be prepared for that, right?
Yeah,
All
be
right.
prepared for the rejection. But, you know, hopefully they'll love you. Either you're their child, and they're going to love you.
All right, Arlene Krantz, Dare to Come Out. It's an ebook. Go to her website, arlenekrantz.com/ebook, and you can download a copy of it for yourself there in case you or somebody you know is going through a similar situation. Arlene, best of luck to you. Thanks for coming and being brave enough to share your story.
Yes,
We do
I'm
appreciate
happy
it.
to do it.
All right,
Thank you so
thanks.
much.